For the past two videos, I've been trying to convince the host community that here what? More and more third-party developers are putting their games everywhere. They are seeing no value in leaving their games on one particular platform. And I mean, there are so many examples of this. For example, we have a Silent Hill 2. We have Final Fantasy VII Integrate. We also had a Neo 3 that had a disclaimer. Also, we have a Phantom Blade. All these games had a disclaimer at the end of the trailer proving that these games are going elsewhere. And you know why I know that these games are coming to Xbox and Switch and other devices? Because there are third-party exclusive games on PlayStation that don't have those disclaimers. For example, if you look at this recently announced game, Jenny God, at the end of each trailer, you don't see any disclaimer saying that it's on PlayStation for 6 months or to a year. There's no disclaimer, so one could be able to deduce that here what? This game is truly exclusive for PlayStation by a third party. So the mere fact that there are games that does not have this disclaimer and there are games that has the disclaimer proves that the one with disclaimer 9 out of 10 times would be coming to Xbox, the Switch, and other platforms. I mean, I don't know how I can tell these ponies that. Again, it seems like I would have to hire someone to beat it into their heads. That is exactly what these ponies need. But talking about going multiplat, recently Sony would have announced how much money they would have made for the entire quarter and all that jazz. But one of the things that was very interesting that Sony reported on via that quarter review is how much money they would have made via multiplat. Yes, Sony has reported how much money Xbox, putting their games on Xbox and PC, would have made for them. Listen to this article.
Sony has made at least $2.3 billion selling first-party games on PC and Xbox.
And I just made it into the front door in time.
New data released by Sony indicates that the company has generated a cumulative total of at least $2.3 billion from selling games on PC and Xbox platforms. Sony has made at least $2.37 billion from selling its first-party PlayStation games on PC and Xbox. New data from the company reveals. Sony's latest Q3 25 results allow us to tally an interesting metric for the company: how much money it makes from platforms other than PlayStation. Sony's recent holiday 2025 earnings add even more billions of dollars to the company's coffers. But there are some stats that stand out more than the traditional gauges of revenue and operating profit. A bit ago, Sony reclassified how it records earnings for its PlayStation division, adding in another segment called Other Software. As per Sony, the Other Software segment is defined as revenue from sales of first-party titles, including add-on content, on platforms other than PlayStation consoles. According to our findings, Sony has made at least $2.37 billion from selling games and content on other platforms than PlayStation, including both PC and Xbox.
What the hell? Oh! What? That Bible! Bible! That boy roll on the stage. They go! Bible! 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 Woo! They got a Bible! Yeah, Bible! Oh, look at that boy!
That's a cumulative total that runs from the first segment reporting period in Q1 22 all the way to Q3 25. Sony's present holiday quarter. Read more. PlayStation made more from cross-platform games than it did from physical game sales in Q1 Foot 25.
Say that again?
Sony has released a number of games on Xbox and PC, and plans to keep a multi-platform strategy for its live games, including Bungie's upcoming Marathon.
Not too bad for a dead platform, not too bad for a community which you guys say don't buy games. It's very clear that Sony's seen their strategies working by putting more games elsewhere. About this article I posted yesterday, soon Sony would have to go where the industry is going, multiplat, because the higher ups would say too much money is being left on the table. Ponies are trying to ignore it. After I tweeted that, Pony said keep wishing. Another one said it's only 2%. 2% is nothing. Remember this, ponies. Always remember this.
I might tell you a joke, but I'll never tell you a lie. I'm telling you.
I might tell you a joke, but I never tell you a lie.
PlayStation is going to bring more games to Xbox, to Nintendo, and many other platforms. So you guys keep hoping on a dream that this is not happening. Now that brings us to our final topic. Let's talk about Take2 Q3 financial update. So every year around this time, a lot of different gaming companies, corporations, they give us their financial update, their Q3 financial update, which is the last quarter of the fiscal year. And Nintendo gave their financial update, stating that the Nintendo Switch 2 would have sold over 17 million units in 7 months, outpacing the Nintendo Switch. So after Nintendo would have given their update on their Q3 quarter, we saw Take2 gave their update. And Take2 gave a number of different stats about how their gaming is going, how they need to continue to make games like GTA, Red Dead, and so forth. But there was an interesting stat that came up that had everyone talking on Twitter. You see, for years, the PlayStation community have been saying that the Xbox Series console is the worst selling console, selling only 20 million, 24 million. Yes, these ponies were saying that although Microsoft don't release the console sales, guess what? These ponies said they know how much Microsoft sold, and it's under 30,000. I remember that very well. So when Take2 posted this, look at this, 138 million Gen 9 consoles outstanding. Yes, according to Take2, they were saying that, guess what? There are 138 million consoles in the wild. So everyone was speculating which percentage is which. How much does Nintendo have from this? How much does Microsoft has from this? And how much Sony has from this? Well, it just so happened that Sony would have posted their financial update for Q3, and this is what they said. Sony said that their consoles have sold 92.2 million units since it came out in 2020, just a little below the PlayStation 4 around the same time. So after persons would have subtracted the 92 million from the 138 million, they were saying that here what, if it is you go on to minus the additional 17 million that Nintendo has, that Microsoft is left with what, 27 million or 29 million, somewhere around there. So Microsoft, this is it. This is the lowest amount of sales that Microsoft would have gotten. This is the narratives that ponies would have pushed. Yes, ponies were believing everything. Even Zubitech made his famous graphs. And you know something? Once Zubitech makes a graph, that means it's true. Yeah?
Shout the season, man. Shout the season, man. Yo, this nigga boy.
Because these guys, before the PlayStation 5 Pro came out, said it would be $500. It will have 67 teraflops and all that jazz. All of their graphs are true. But then some Xbox guys said, nah, something don't sound right here. So they basically asked Grok what was meant when it is, Take2 would have said, there are 138 million consoles in the market. Are they talking about all three consoles, or are they talking about just Xbox and PlayStation? You see, the PlayStation community don't want to believe that Xbox sold more than 30 million consoles. So this is what Grok said. Take2 FY26 investor presentation confirms 138 million Gen 9 consoles, namely the PlayStation 5 Pro and the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series consoles sold as of December 2025. No official breakdown, but estimates from sources like VG Charts and Statista put PlayStation 5 around 86 to 90 million, including December sales, implying that Xbox is around 48 to 52 million. Xbox figures vary. Microsoft doesn't disclose exact numbers. So yes, so this is what Grok would have said when, the Xbox team would have said, nah, something don't sound right there with only 27 million consoles sold. But then after, Ponies was adamant that no, you have to take into consideration Nintendo. Nintendo is considered a Gen 9 console. But after, Xbox guys would have gotten additional information to really sing the point home that, guess what? Microsoft sold just around 50 million consoles, and these ponies have to deal with it. Because look at this information. This is another AI breakdown as to what is a 9-gen console. Hear what it says. 9-gen consoles, specifically PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles, these are the 9th generation home console launched in 2020. Nintendo Switch Original or Switch 2 is not included as it's treated as a separate hybrid portable generation, often Gen 8 or distinct. So this is what the AI said, and ponies could have the argument that here, what all of this is AI. This didn't come from Take2 themselves, and I would say,
Excuse me, sir, you cannot. You can't do that.
Dr. Newsom. What's happening, man? I'm curious for a second. Doctor.
How about, would you be willing to resign if it would mean a better deal?
Let me tell you something. Dr. Newsom.
Dr. Luther is not taking no stupidness this morning. Because look at this. Look at what Take2 would have actually said at the end of their report. Take2 said, our dependency on key management and product development personnel, our dependence on our NBK 2K and Grand Theft Auto products, and our ability to develop hit titles, our ability to leverage opportunities on what? The PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series consoles, factors affecting our mobile business, and so forth and so on. So although Take2 does publish some games on the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch, they do not consider them as key as to their financial business going forward. And they said that. That is not no AI saying that. So when it is you look at all of these evidence, you can deduce that here what? When they refer to the Gen 9 console, they were talking specifically about the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series console. So although ponies don't want to admit how many Xbox Series consoles are out in the wild, it's very clear that they made a misjudgment by saying it was 27 million. It is actually between 48 to 50 million PlayStation or rather Xbox Series consoles out there. And that's just the facts. And guess what? It's not even important because Microsoft is not even focusing on the consoles anymore. We are focusing on content, games, and more games. Now, of course, the new console will be there for those who want it, but the focus is content. Content is what matters. Games is what matters. So let me hear what you thought about the entire video. Am I wrong? Did I calculate wrong? Is Microsoft the lowest selling console ever? 20 million sold? Let me know in the comment section below, you ponies and balonies. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.